Like, I don't want there to be bad foods, right?
Yeah.
But we need to eat growing, nutritious food too. So like, how do I get you to eat some protein?
With kids, you always have to offer the same food over and over again. I'm sure you know that.
Well, we'd love for him to love food as much as we do.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Dietitian Stable. Today we have Sarah joining us. Hi Sarah, thank you so much for being here.
Hi, thank you for having me. This is exciting.
Yeah, I'm really excited to have you. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yes, so I'm Sarah. I am 35, almost 36 years old now. I am one of the co-founders and the program director of San Diego Made. I live in southeastern San Diego with my husband and my young son, Jack. He's 3.5. And let's see, I love to paint. That's kind of what I do whenever I can. Bright colors, abstract. It's the time when I can really get into the flow and kind of let things melt away. So that's what I like to do.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Do you do like paintings or do you paint sculptures?
It's mostly paintings. So with acrylics. And I have gotten into some cool different textured type of things and making interesting canvases. But right now I am building a little studio in my backyard. So I'm hoping to expand my space that I have to work in.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
I haven't been much of an artist. I don't have really an artistic side, but I am learning. I am learning to crochet. So I'm trying to, do something with my hand and just learning a new skill. So yeah.
Crochet is fun. And once you kind of get into it,
Yeah.
it's amazing how quickly it can go too, right?
True. But the beginning is really stressful.
Yeah, totally. Have you made a completed item?
Yeah, small little origami. Yeah.
Oh, cool. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that.
So, but I'm still learning.
Yeah. Working with your hands is a special thing too.
True. And it's fun, especially now with having kids, so you get to learn skills with them and paint with them, and so it's fun.
Absolutely. My son loves to paint and get messy.
Yes.
So I like doing that with them. Encourage that, actually.
And tell me a little bit about walk me through a typical day of working and your routine.
Well, right now we are kind of back into some sleep issues with my son. So the night can be a little difficult these days. But in general, and he's an early riser, so he gets up around 6 usually. So I usually kind of am helping him throughout the night, and he'll get up, my husband will get up with him, and then I'll go back to sleep for a little bit.
Oh, that's nice.
Which is, a couple more minutes. And then we get up and get him ready to go. My husband usually takes him in the morning, and then I get ready, get dressed, make breakfast, and head into work. And I'm usually at work until about in between 3 and 4, I would say. My husband and I switch off picking up my son from daycare. And so on the days that I pick him up, I try to go to one of my exercise classes, actually. Okay. So I do that a couple times a week. Then I go pick him up and take him home. And then we usually try and kind of do something all together when we get home, whether that's going for a walk or going to a playground or something to get more of his energy out.
Yeah, before bed.
Exactly. And then we'll get home and have dinner, and then we'll start to kind of wind down and do bedtime, bath time, and get him to sleep. And then it's time for my husband and I to kind of decompress for a little bit. Yeah. And then to sleep ourselves.
And then repeat.
Yep, exactly.
And how has that been, him waking up at night? How often does he wake up?
He was waking up. We went through a period where he was sleeping through the night, and it was great. And then he was kind of waking up like once a night, which wasn't too bad. But we were sick recently. And so that always kind of like throws you off your routine.
True.
And so now he's waking up like 2 or 3 times a night. But part of the issue is, so he loves milk. Like he loves his milk. He gets milk before bed. And so that's one thing he'll ask for. That's like one of his comfort things in the middle of the night, is to have a little bit of milk to help him go back to sleep. And we got off of that for a little while, but then when they're sick, then you kind of like fall into those routines and you just want them to feel better and be hydrated and everything. And now when he's really upset and crying in the middle of the night and he wants his milk, it's like, I'll just give it to him so he'll settle back down. But then I feel like that kind of goes into a cycle where, you know, he's drinking more calories and then he really doesn't eat like that much during the day. And then he'll, you know, he always loves his milk before bed. And so it's like, well, you need to eat if you're hungry, we need to eat more dinner then. And, but it's kind of in this weird cycle right now of kind of drinking his calories through milk. So
and have you talked to his pediatrician about that, about his nutrition and milk drinking at night?
Yeah, we have. She told us not to be too concerned about it, and that parents are sometimes kind of overthinking it, and that milk is still okay for him to get lots of calories through. But I just want to help him with building like his relationship with food and habits and everything. And we try and call it like growing food. Like we need to eat some growing food, some good food. He does have a major sweet tooth. I don't know where he gets that from at all. Definitely me. But with that, it's like, you know, he'll ask for like some sweet snacks and things. And it's like just trying to always kind of balance it out. Like I don't want there to be bad foods, right?
Yeah.
But we need to eat growing, nutritious food too. So it's a struggle right now.
I'm sure. And do you tell him those are bad foods and those are growing foods, or how do you?
No, I'm really of the mindset that I don't want to label like any food is bad, and I like am really trying to be intentional about his relationship with all different kinds of foods. And you know, sweets are okay. Like all kids are, and all humans, or most humans, you know, like sweets, and it's just in moderation, right? And so I really try not to like label it as bad, but rather like stressing, you know, growing food is important, because he's very, very excited about growing tall. He always shows us how his hands and his feet are getting bigger, and it's like, if we want to keep growing, we need to get the nutrients too. So that's
cute. And that's really good that you're not labeling food. So that's an amazing thing that you're doing. So what's been working for you for his routine during the day, and what has been a struggle?
Recently I've really tried to, like instead of kind of having a bunch of snacks when he's getting home, I'll try and kind of hold off, and then we'll eat dinner a little bit earlier. So, you know, he's not loaded up on a bunch of like kind of empty calorie snacks. So I've been trying to do that a little bit more, and just, he loves fruit. So I just try and like offer fruit or cheese or things like that instead. But he loves his Cheez-Its and his little Yogi ball things and everything. So we kind of do what we can.
Okay. So, well, that's good. And you've been adding fruits and the Yogi bites within his meal?
Yeah,
he likes that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when I do serve him like a dinner plate, I'll try and put things that that he's asked for and that he likes on the plate too, with other options. So I try and like maybe like 5 different things and say, you know, let's eat a little bit of all of this. Yeah. Right.
That is a very good strategy, by the way, to just, because he's been very particular about his food. So adding something new that you want him to try, but also having the foods that he like and already knows, as having both in the plate helps him try new things and be more adventurous, hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
He is a very, stubborn, like hard-headed kiddo. Like he's my wild child. And so he like does only what he wants to do. So often it is hard to, like, let's eat this. And if he doesn't want to, he won't. But so it's kind of like a balance with that too.
And how's that exploration process been going?
It's been, well, to be honest, lately I have kind of resorted to, hey, let's eat a little bit of everything. If you eat some of this chicken and, eat your cheese and your fruit, I'll give you a couple pieces of chocolate after, which I don't love having like kind of gone to that point of, if you eat this, you'll get that. But sometimes it's like, you can't survive off of like 3 strawberries. So like, how do I get you to eat some protein and some chicken or, some other things. So it's hard.
And what's the food that he consistently eats, let's say?
So besides like fruit and cheese, I would say, I do offer him, he'll usually eat like the fruit and veggie pouches. So I find that a good way of like getting some vegetables into him. But he does like, pasta. He'll eat some like noodles and things like that. And chicken. Sometimes he'll eat like little pieces of beef and stuff like that. But what does he really like? Yogurt also. Okay. He does like yogurt a lot. I try and be mindful about the sugar content in that too. For a little while, I thought it seemed like he was really sensitive to sugar when he was a little bit younger. He'd kind of, if he had a lot of sugar, he'd kind of have these like huge meltdowns. So that made us really try to be conscious of that. Yeah. I think he's kind of outgrown that at this point. But yeah, he loves snacks and yogurt and things like that.
Well, it's a good thing that you're incorporating several items and several food groups within his plate just for him to try. I would try to see how you can incorporate chocolate and sweets, not really as a reward, but as part of his day. What do you think about that?
Yeah. Kind of like he knows it'll be there and it'll come without saying, if you eat this, you'll get that kind of thing, but kind of make it more a staple, more or less, kind of.
So let's say he's asking for chocolate. How do you think you can provide him chocolate without it feeling like it's a reward or like you're giving in,
Yeah. I think, I have this bag of like the mini M&Ms. So like they're, and even if he gets like 2 of them, he's super happy. And like, how much chocolate is that? It's a tiny bit, right? So when he asks, I'll usually like give him a couple like that, but maybe just kind of like making that more of a routine, I guess.
And also as part of the routine is adding it within the snack. So let's say you did mention he loves yogurt, he likes cheese and fruit. So putting in his snack plate, yogurt, cheese, fruit, and 2 M&Ms, So like you're doing with the dinner plate where you're adding several food groups for him to try different things, adding the M&Ms or the piece of chocolate with his fruit and his little snack, you're portraying that, you can have sweets and something that is growing and that's going to help you grow. So
but what if he only eats the M&Ms and leaves the plate?
Which is that's very possible. It's a possibility for sure. But the fact that you're offering them together and you did mention that he likes veggies and fruits and he likes yogurt. So hopefully maybe the 2 M&Ms he'll eat them first and then he'll eat the other fruits or whatever you put in his snack plate,
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's just repetition. With kids, you always have to offer the same food over and over again. I'm sure you know that. Just constantly. And it takes sometimes 20 tries for them to finally try to have it.
Yeah, that's a really good reminder because sometimes, we always serve him a little bit of whatever we're having for dinner, right? In addition to a few other items of comfort items or whatever. And so sometimes if we serve him something we're having and he doesn't want to eat it, I'm like, okay, well, we'll try something else next time. But I think that's true. Like, just kind of keep offering it to him on a, just different things on a repeated basis.
True.
And then he'll eventually try it, right?
Yeah. And you can try different versions. So let's say he tried sweet potatoes cut in some small cubes. He didn't like it. Maybe you can try it in like, he hiding the vegetables within the pasta sauce, for example. So trying different versions of him getting the veggies and him trying different textures and see what he would like to try or what he likes.
Absolutely. Yeah, that is a good idea. That's something that I think we could do more, is incorporating more veggies into that actual, like, entree, right? And then it's kind of just a part of it.
Yeah. What I like to do is like steam some broccolis and then mash them within the pasta sauce, and then you just see the little green, and it's like a green sauce, and that's one way for him to get his broccolis, and he loves it. I have a son.
Yeah.
So he's also around 3.5, and we're also like trying to explore different ways to incorporate vegetables and trying.
That's a great idea. I'm going to use that one.
And now he asks for broccoli.
Oh, he does.
Okay.
Amazing. Yeah. Jack went through a little period of like actually eating broccoli, and then that turned off.
Yeah. They just go through phases, and it's really hard because every time you think that you found the solution and you did it, and then something changes, he gets sick or he learns something at daycare, and then we're back to learning to square one, technically.
Exactly. That's exactly it. It's like every day is a new day. Every week is a new week, right?
Yeah.
What do you think about like milk intake for this age? Does your son drink milk?
He still drinks milk. Yeah.
Does he have it before bed?
He does.
Yeah. Okay. So you're doing that too. Okay.
Yeah. There's a lot of different, ways to look at it. There's a lot of people who just stop milk after 2. But I just didn't want to stop something that he finds comforting before bed. So he's still having dinner. Sometimes he drinks less milk because he had a good dinner, and sometimes he didn't eat that much, so he drinks more of his milk. So it really depends, but it soothes him before bed.
Exactly.
So we would just make sure that he brushes his teeth, and to avoid cavities or anything. So just brush the teeth before bed.
Yeah, absolutely. That's our routine too. Yeah. That's why when he asks for it in the middle of the night, I'm like, gotta brush your teeth though. Like, so.
Have you tried giving him some like sips of water instead of milk, or has it at night, during the night?
No, I was thinking about just kind of trying to offer something else instead, and kind of, or maybe doing like less and less, and then like switching it with something else. So I think I might start now that he's totally healthy and everything again.
Yeah, and what does he use to drink his milk? What type of sippy cup or cup?
It's like a sippy cup with a little plastic, not really a bottle, but like, just kind of a plastic sippy cup.
Okay. Maybe trying a different type of cup during the night,
like an open
cup. May make him drink less, so he'll still get that. Oh, I wanted milk and I got milk. It's soothing, but he won't drink a full bottle because it's him taking sips from it.
That's a really, really good point. I think the whole like sippy cup thing is part of the comfort, right? But
yeah, for sure.
We can kind of go off of that and into an open cup, I think I'm going to try that. I'm going to do that tonight.
Okay. I can't wait to see how that goes. Yeah. As much as it's really hard to say, to do actually, but just try to relax and make meal times fun. The fact that you're having dinner together, as a family, that helps. Trying to talk about different things about your day, telling a story, but just trying to avoid, focusing on what he's eating and making him, making him eat and try things so that it doesn't feel stressful for him and for you.
Absolutely.
And for you, because then everyone's going to be stressed at mealtime.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is, I've really caught myself recently, like getting really stressed about it. And that's not helping anybody, right? Because I'm not having a good time. My husband, like my son, nobody's having a good time. So might as well.
Yeah.
We have gotten into a little bit of a bad habit of letting a screen be involved with dinner. Like he'll have his iPad at the table, which is helpful because if he's kind of like, you know, playing something or watching something, then he'll kind of eat. But I know that that's not a very good habit either.
Yeah,
right?
that's not ideal.
You want to be mindful of what you're eating too. So, you know, we do what we can, but that happens sometimes.
And how was your experience growing up with nutrition and with, you know, foods?
I would say that, so my mom cooked a lot at home. So there were a lot of home cooked meals, which was great. And it was, I would say in general, pretty like kind of meat focused or like protein focused. Like it was usually, in my mind growing up, it was always like some kind of meat and then like a carb and vegetable, kind of always having that kind of balance at mealtime. That's why, and so my husband kind of jokes with me sometimes, like we don't always have to have like a meat in our meal or like, you know, it have to be like that, but that's kind of what feels complete to me, I guess, because of how I was raised. But I appreciate how they raised me too, because there really weren't like bad foods labeled to me. We did like eat fast. We would go out to eat and eat some fast food throughout the week, and not the best habits, but it also was in a household of like, we never go out for fast food. We never drink soda. We never have sweets around. In general, I was able to kind of eat more or less what I wanted, which I think has helped with my relationship with food in general, because it hasn't been labeled as bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did eat like cereal for most of my life for breakfast and have ice cream for bed for most of my life. And so probably not the best habits, but it was also nice to know that like that was acceptable too in my house.
And how does that affect how you talk to your son about food? Thinking back.
That's a big part of like why we don't want to label like things as bad, because I have a lot of friends that, you know, they never ate fast food. It's bad food. And like now that there's that in the back of their mind, right? Because that's the messaging that they got. And so I know how important that really is.
Yeah.
So that's one of the main reasons why we don't want anything to be bad, labeled as bad.
Yes. That's amazing that you're trying to keep that and then, you know, transition that to your son so that he has a healthy relationship with food and that all foods are accepted.
Exactly. And my husband and I, we love food, and we love like kind of eating new things and trying new restaurants. So it's really important to us for him to have, we'd love for him to love food as much as we do. And like, we can eventually go to like different types of restaurants and try food that we haven't had before. So we're really mindful that we would love that to be, something that he enjoys with us, but you know, he's his own person.
And it's going to come, you know, with time, we're going to start going out to restaurants, and he'll be maybe more inclined to try different things, and you'll be able to get there.
Yes, absolutely. One day at a time.
One day at a time. Yeah. Parenting is a learning curve every single day, you know, but you're doing your best, and you're already doing so many great things, you know, to help him. So you just need that little push with, you know, adding the chocolate and the M&Ms with the snack, and not just, you want this. Okay, I'm just going to give it to you and you'll eat it instead of your snack, you know?
Absolutely. No, I think that's a really good idea. And it almost putting it on the same plate with other food
Yes.
is like, it's all equal,
It's all
right?
equal.
But
Yeah.
like, let's have a little bit of all of it.
Exactly. Yeah. Because we don't think about it. You're like, oh, okay, you'll have your M&Ms now and then you can have your fruit later. This is your thought process. But for him, he's like, oh, I got my chocolate instead of the fruit, you know. They don't know that the next snack is coming.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
So
I'm
always
gonna-
putting them together.
yeah. That's a good kind of rewiring of like my thoughts and stuff too.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's part of it, right? Is just kind of like our own internal thoughts around everything.
True.
Yeah.
That's why I was wondering about your experience, because when we become parents, everything that we learned and that our parents taught us are unconsciously and sometimes consciously, you know, brought up when we're bringing up our kids and when we're parenting.
Yeah, absolutely. It's amazing how much you don't even realize how much that's a part of your kind of mindset with things. And
Until you have kids.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. I always say like becoming a mother is like the biggest mirror I've ever stepped in front of.
That's one way to look at it. I like it. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, I'm parenting him and kind of reparenting myself a little
Yeah.
bit. Right? So yeah,
Well, thank you so much, Sarah, for being here.
absolutely. Thank you for having me.
And for everyone watching, you can watch this video on our YouTube channel, and don't forget to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. For even more conversations, follow along on Facebook and TikTok at The Dietitian Stable, or on Instagram at The Dietitian Stable Podcast.